Welcome back. While the mass movement of migrants in Europe has captured the world's attention, there's another big exodus going on. This one is along the border of Venezuela and Colombia. Thousands of Colombians, many of whom have lived in Venezuela for years, have been leaving, carrying all their belongings across a muddy river. Venezuela has deported more than 1,000 people, and President Nicolas Maduro is expanding border closures. Both nations have now recalled their ambassadors. Tensions escalated after Mr. Maduro blamed what he said are Colombian paramilitaries for crime and smuggling. Colombia's president calls Venezuela's actions unacceptable.
Venezuela, insistimos.
In Venezuela, we insist, we are not asking, we demand, and we will always demand respect for human rights of all these Colombians who thought they were on friendly soil, and they have been abused. They are humble Colombians. They are not paramilitaries. They are people of flesh and blood who deserve to be treated with dignity.
Michael Shifter joins me now from Washington. He's the president of Inter-American Dialogue. Michael, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
We've seen these incredible pictures of people wading through deep rivers, carrying appliances as they flee Venezuela. Just describe the state of affairs and how many people are being forced out.
Well, so far, 1,000 people have been deported, and another 5,000, 6,000 have left on their own accord because they've been threatened, because there has been a crackdown by the Venezuelan government. And so this is a heartbreaking situation. The images are terrible. It's really inhuman, and there's just a lot of fear. But so far, just 1,000 have been deported, but this is a tactic that the Venezuelan government is using.
And of course, some of these people have lived in Venezuela for more than a decade. We know that some of their houses are set to be demolished. What will happen to all these displaced people?
Well, a lot of them, there have been, of course, the Colombian government has responded, has met with them at the border, and there's an effort to try to help them. But within Venezuela itself, they're extremely vulnerable and in a very serious situation. And there's a lot of concern, and that's why President Santos of Colombia has called on regional organizations, the Organization of American States, South American organizations, to try to apply pressure to the Venezuelan government to try to treat these citizens within Venezuela with respect.
And the president, of course, of Venezuela blames these undocumented Colombians for the country's crime rate and its crumbling economy. But we know Venezuela is the 5th largest oil exporting country in the world. So how much of its problems can be attributed to the tumbling oil prices?
Well, it's the tumbling oil prices, and beyond tumbling oil prices, it's just terrible management, high levels of corruption. This is a country that should be doing very well economically. Instead, the estimates are that its economy will shrink by 7% in 2015. That's the highest inflation rate in the world. There are shortages of basic goods all over the country. There's a high crime rate. You can't blame the Colombians who are living in Venezuela on that. But President Maduro's in bad shape. His support level has gone down. He's got an election coming up, parliamentary elections coming up in December, and he's trying to arouse national sentiment, and it's easy to scapegoat the poor Colombians.
There were, of course, talks between ministers of Venezuela and Colombia that went on for about 6 hours with seemingly little progress. Can there be some form of a diplomatic resolution here?
Well, I certainly hope so, and that's why President Santos has called on other countries to express their concern and to pressure the Venezuelan government. But, of course, the Venezuelan government so far hasn't responded very much to those calls, and they simply want to do what they want. This is a matter of survival for President Maduro. He's lost a lot of support. There's high levels of Venezuelans that want him to leave office. And so this is a good distraction for him. Whether it will work or not, I have serious doubts, but he's exhausted other options, he's desperate, and he's trying this one. I doubt it's going to work very much for him.
Okay, we could continue the conversation, but we'll have to leave it there at this point in time. Michael Shifter, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.